He really has. He's the top scorer for Brazil over the last 2 years. He's got a great record, 19 goals in 40 appearances. Do the math on that. It's one goal a game, pretty much. It doesn't get any worse than a 10-point deduction. That's probably the worst punishment you can get. And they responded really well. Got some big wins. Players like Dwight, they're playing really well, scoring goals. And ultimately, I think just be a bit more consistent, because sometimes it can be amazing techers and the next minute's over the bar. But he's consistent, right? I don't think Manchester City actually want to sign Declan Rice. I think what's going on here is Arteta's picked up the phone to Pep, said, listen, Arsenal are going to do the sort of incremental bid approach. If you put a higher bid in, that will push my owner to I think there's a bit of that going on here. All-time legend. Jack Grealish. Oh, Jude Bellingham all day long. Oh, Jorginho. Zeus. Jude Bellingham again. I'm going to pick him every time. Oh my God! Jude Bellingham because he's from Birmingham.
Let's see what's happening with this Eni Aluko situation. You remember she got into it with Joey Barton? Do you remember?
Joey Barton, yeah.
Yeah, Joey Barton had words for her because he was like,
yeah,
this woman, she comes to England and pretends that she's the normal black story now. Oh, I had a rough background, right? That's what every black person does.
Yeah.
And then it transpires that no, actually she's the daughter of a senator, that kind of thing. Like her father is like some kind of senator that has money and stuff like that. So all those her lies, kind of, Joey Barton was the first person to expose her, right? And now she has exposed herself by going after one Ian Wright, Arsenal legend, 61 years old, right? So let's see what happened. She says she accused Ian Wright of blocking female pundits and dominating coverage of women's football. I want to see exactly what the quote is in full. And what did she say? Okay, this is what she said. I've worked with Ian a long time, and I think he's a brilliant broadcaster, but I think he's aware of just how much he's doing in women's game. I think he should be aware of that. Okay. The fact of the matter is there's a limited amount of space available. If we had a situation where there was an equal opportunity in the men's game for broadcasters and coaches that there is in the women's game, it's a free for all. But that's not the case. I cannot dominate the men's game in the way that you use Ian as an example. Okay, so I don't know about wrong, but I think we need to be conscious and we need to make sure that women are not being blocked from having a pathway into broadcasting in the women's game. Men need to be aware that you're in a growing sport for women. We haven't always had these opportunities, and so it's about awareness and supporting other women through the pathway. So she's saying that this old man is blocking women from sports broadcasting. What is your take, Don?
Delusional, if you ask me.
Okay.
This is somebody that was she puts on an act. If you like, I don't like her personally. I don't think she knows football enough to do what she does.
Agreed.
Yeah. She was a terrible footballer when she played. She was absolutely horrible. Yeah.
Okay.
She would never go anywhere near the England team. Right. And now this is when women football was still on the rise. Basically, she would never go anywhere near the England team, anywhere near the reserves even right now. Talent is not something you put next to her name. And the fact that you're going at Ian Wright, bro, yeah, if I know one thing I know for a fact is I don't think you can name me any male footballer, ex or still present playing, that is more of an advocate for women football than Ian Wright. I'm telling you, can go and do your Google, do your research. Yeah. Ian Wright supports women football like his life depended on it.
Okay.
And there was a girl who played for Stoke City, if I remember correctly. She had an ACL injury, and Ian Wright paid for her therapy. He was paying £1,000, just a little under £2,000, sorry, every month on her therapy recovery. Yeah. Because the team Stoke City that she plays for didn't have the insurance to cover it. Wasn't able to cover her. You can imagine.
Okay. So Stoke City doesn't have enough insurance to cover their footballers.
Yes. Listen, we can pull this up somewhere.
No, don't worry. It's women's football. We will find it.
They didn't have the resources to cover the girls, and this is somebody that plays for the club.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying to you? So, he didn't have to do that. Yeah. He did not have to do that. So, and there was loads more people that could have done it, but didn't do it. I'm not saying I'm telling people what to do with their money or whatever, their finances, but I'm just saying he didn't have to do that. He's not related to, and you see them trying to make fun of somebody who you could never be.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Maybe a professional footballer who's an accomplished footballer, and you're trying to, you say, oh, look, why? That's so silly. Why did you do that? You should have done this. I'm like, who the fuck are you? I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Okay. No, I'm not it's Kaylee McDonald. That's the girl's name I was looking for.
So now, you mentioned two things that I wanted to point out, yeah? One is you said Ian Wright supports women football. Nobody supports women football more than Ian Wright, right? My question to you is this: does he not have to support women's football?
Yes.
Can Ian Wright be as honest as me about women's football? Can Ian Wright be as honest as Richard Keys and Andy Gray and all those other guys who've lost their jobs about women's football? Can he afford not to support women's football? He can't, because a message.
No, he can't though.
Yeah. A message has gone out saying that, look, women's football is a clown show. It's ineffective. It's not entertaining. It's not competitive. It's not even real. But you must pretend that it is. You must speak about it as if it's a real thing. Now you go to your other point where you said that he supports women's football so much that he paid for a female footballer's medical expenses, a professional in a football club, and the football club does not have the means to pay for a medical expense. What does that sound like? We don't have money. Yes, because you are not a commercial venture. Because you are not real. It's a pretend. It's like play group. They just gather these women and say, okay, you guys come and be pretending to be playing football. You are not playing football. Women's football is not a real commercial venture. It's purely charity. It's just a way to get women out of the house to come out and say, oh, women are playing football. We all know it's not real. We've seen the highlights, we've seen the clips. Nobody's going to sit down and watch 90 minutes of women's football. Nobody. I saw something somewhere, one headline, they said Barcelona, they lost their first match in 5 years. They've not lost a game in 5 years. They just lost maybe recently. And we're calling that a football match. Okay, so how do you bet? How do you do betting, sports betting sponsorships on a sport where a team has not lost in 4 years, 5 years? And you call that a real football sport? You call that real? And then the United Kingdom recently said, oh, men cannot play in women's sports. Why wasn't the ruling in the other way around? Why is the UK Supreme Court? Why is the UK Supreme Court trying to protect women's sports?
Is women playing in men's sports?
Yeah, exactly. The ruling doesn't say that women can play in men's sports. So, you understand what I'm saying? Meaning that it is a joke. Women's sports in general is a joke. It is a fad. It is it is like I don't know it's a fugazi. It's not real. And so, oh, they're not allowed to participate in women's sports. Exactly. Because men come into the sport and they dominate it.
Dominate.
You understand? So why does Ian Wright have to start wasting his money paying for somebody's football expenses? Is Ian Wright going to pay for the young children, like the young boys in the hood who are trying to get into an academy or whatever the case may be? He has to go and be giving to.
But we don't know what he does with his money. You don't know what charity supports and what he does.
But I know. But my point is that
because he does a lot he does a lot of other stuff.
I know. But my point is that this is a professional footballer. Kaylee is a professional footballer, and her football club cannot afford to pay expenses for something which is part and parcel of the game, which is injuries.
Yeah.
So how is that real? This man is 61 years old. Does he have that much money? Is he that rich that he has to be using his meager money to be helping somebody?
Well, clearly he's rich, man. If it wasn't enough, he wouldn't be using.
What I'm saying is that he's been out of the game for a long time, and even when he was
he's worked in the game for a long time.
No, I know, but even when he was playing,
there's endorsements. I think he's all right money-wise. Let me just say that.
No, I'm not saying he's poor. I'm not trying to say he's poor. What I'm trying to say is that he's 61. 60 is retirement age. Why is somebody using let's call it retirement money? Why is somebody using retirement money to help out a professional footballer if she's a professional footballer? It's a charity case. Women's football is a charity case. It's not real. I will say that forever. It is not real. So this woman coming out to say that, oh, he's blocking women from entering sports broadcasting. Why are you here? Why are you here? You've never played football because, as Serena Williams said, when a man plays a sport, it's a different thing from when a woman plays it.
Men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. So I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because it's true. It's true. It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game. And
it is. She didn't say, oh, it's better. She said it is different. So if what we know to be football is played by men, what are the women doing? That's one. Now,